Hello, this is CV Dr. Anju. Today, I'll talk to you about the 7 different types of job interviews that you can get after applying for the top jobs in the city. I'll tell you what the different interviews are like and what type of questions you can expect for each. First, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I cover things like CV guides and job interview preparation. Also, if you want to watch a real first interview in banking and finance, there is a free sample recording in the video description below. So make sure to watch it after this video. So without delay, let's start with the 7 types of job interviews. Number 1 is the CV walkthrough. Number 2, motivation-based interviews. Then you have competency-based interviews. Number 4 is the strengths-based interviews. Number 5 is the technical interviews. Number 6 is the case study interviews. And number 7 is the brain challenge interviews. I will now go through each of these types of 7 interviews and tell you what they are and what questions you can expect for each. Starting with number 1, the CV walkthrough. This tends to be a typical first interview you get for most jobs. What happens there is the recruiter or the person hiring you is going to ask you questions directly based on your CV. So they'll look at the work experiences you've put on your CV, and they will look at what you've done at the previous jobs based on your CV, what type of skills you've said you have, and ask you questions directly to them. So to pass this type of interview, make sure to be an expert and be able to talk at length about every single experience you have put on your CV. Number 2, the motivation-based interviews. The purpose of this interview is for the employer to check if you're serious about the job you're applying for. They want to make sure you're motivated to do the job if you get made a job offer. So they'll ask you things like, tell me about my company. What do we do? Why do you want to work for my company? Why do you want to work for this job? What are the pull factors for you to get this job? Tell me what the weaknesses of my company are. What is my share price? These are the types of questions you can get for a motivation-based interview. They'll try to check how much you know about the company. So make sure you know a lot about the company and the job you're applying for before the interview. Number 3, that's the competency-based interview. They're trying to check that you're competent enough to do the job that they are advertising. So you're going to get asked for situations that, that are related to the job and the type of work situations you could get if you get the job. So I'll give you an example. One type of competency-based interview question is, tell me a situation where you had to work under pressure. Another type of competency-based interview question could be, tell me a situation where you had to work in a team. And that time you need to explain a situation from your actual life experiences or previous jobs or projects you've worked on that you did what they're asking for. Now, number 4 is a strengths-based interview. For a strengths-based interview, they'll ask you questions that are emphasizing a particular quality that is required for the job. So they'll ask you, for example, to give them an example of how you are an expert in VBA, for example. Or give them, for example, an example of how you've led a team. Or show them how you're a leader. You need to explain any situation where you've demonstrated the strength or the quality that they're looking for. Make sure you're very direct in the way you answer the question and get straight to the point. Number 5, the technical interview. Now here they're going to check whether you have the actual technical knowledge and competence to do the job that they're trying to hire you for. So they'll ask you technical questions. They'll ask you questions that require you to have certain knowledge and expertise in the type of job that they're looking. So for example, if you wanted to work a financial job, they might ask you to explain a certain investment to them, or they might ask you to discuss the concept of time value of money. If you're applying for a medical job, they might ask you a certain medical question or a certain biology question, just to check how much you actually know or how interested you are in the area that they are hiring for. Number 6, the case study interview. Now, this interview is very common to be given near the end of the job application process. There you'll get asked very often to do a presentation on a case study. So they'll give you a case study and then they'll ask you to create and give them a presentation on that case study. They want to check your presenting skills, your ability to analyze information. That's why they're going to ask you to do a presentation. And number 7 is the brain challenge interview. These tend to be brain teasers. Not everyone gives this type of interview, but the people who do, they expect you to have the right answer. So I'll give you some example of brain teaser or brain challenge type interview questions. For example, how many ping pong balls can you fit inside a plane? Another example, they might ask you how many grains of sand are there in the Sahara Desert? Here they'll try to see how your brain works, how you're going to analyze this information, and how you're going to go about calculating this. It's a tough type of interview question. And this concludes the 7 types of interviews that you can get. As a reminder, there is a sample free interview in the video description, so make sure to watch it. And also make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Good luck in your job search.